If you have watched The Wolf of Wall Street, Hugo, or Goodfellas, then you have watched some of Martin Scorsese's best work. 51 years after leaving the seminary, he won his first Academy Award. Hollywood is where Scorsese lives out his vocation as a filmmaker. His life has been a pilgrimage, taking him from Queens to the seminary to Hollywood. Martin Charles Scorsese's pilgrimage began in 1942, when he was born in Queens. His parents were second-generation Italian-Americans and raised him in a Roman Catholic household. As a child, he moved to Manhattan's Little Italy. He frequently saw gangs and violence and felt vulnerable. He felt safest at the local parish, St. Patrick's Old Cathedral. Old St. Patrick's was a haven for the young boy. It gave him a sense of calm. He joined other children by singing in the choir and becoming an altar server. Father Francis Principe joined Old St. Patrick's when Scorsese was 10 years old and became his mentor. Father Principe was young and made an effort to connect with the church's youth. He taught the children that Christianity could be found in daily life, like at the cinema. The cinema allowed Scorsese to escape to another world. Sometimes Father Principe took the altar boys to watch a movie uptown. After, he would have a conversation with them about the film and the ways it reflected the Christian faith. Scorsese realized that Christianity could be lived out in different ways, like in filmmaking. Scorsese admired Father Principe so much that he wanted to be more like the priest. Therefore, he entered Cathedral College's preparatory seminary at 14 years old. Upon entering the seminary, Scorsese had no sense of what his vocation really was.
And I realized that, many are called, but few are chosen. So the vocation, you don't dedicate your life to Jesus in a sense of being a cleric, unless you really have the calling, this is not something to, in other words, it isn't to be like somebody else. It has to come from you.
At seminary, he was a poor student and was dismissed. Some years later, he enrolled in NYU's film program. Scorsese had begun his vocation as a filmmaker, a journey which distanced him from the church but then brought him back to it. When his movie New York failed, he sought a haven in cocaine rather than in the church. He ended up in the hospital near death. His pal, Robert De Niro, visited him at the hospital and suggested he make a movie about a real-life wrestler who tormented himself and consequently strayed from faith. Scorsese related to the character and directed the movie, called Raging Bull. Filming it helped Scorsese come to terms with his self-destruction, and his faith was made stronger. Filmmaking led him back to his other haven, the church. In Scorsese's universe, the church is found in the everyday world, where his faith and filmmaking career coexist. To be American and to be Catholic are not two mutually exclusive identities. Together, these identities help expand one's worldview and help one find a greater depth to faith. Scorsese's audience is larger than the audience he would have had as a Catholic priest. A priest is a missionary who spreads the gospel. Scorsese does this in his filmmaking.